Yeah, the need for the anthem is going to be a topic of discussion.
Yeah.
It just is. It's going to be a topic of discussion every Sunday and every athletic event that goes forward at this point. It's a very polarizing issue.
All right, well, let's get right to it then. Obviously on Facebook, you guys are talking about it. You got an opportunity to chat up Antonio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At least he addressed the media afterwards, and he got a lot of questions about it.
Yeah, he did. And when I made it to his locker, he was already talking about it and was speaking very passionately about why he did what he did. He's the first Colt to take a knee during the anthem, which has been, again, a hot button topic since Colin Kaepernick started doing it in the preseason. And I asked him a question that gets asked a lot. What do you say to a fan who says you're just a football player, play football? And here was his response.
I'm a black man first. And at the end of the day, I'm going to speak my mind as a black man. If you don't like it, you don't have to listen to it. And at the end of the day, I have 6 young black men, sons. So it's just like, why wouldn't I speak up for them and speak up for the other young black man that's growing up and everything else? Why wouldn't I take a stand for any of that? Because that's what it's all about. We're trying to make change. The only change going to come is people start putting their minds and stop being so closed-minded about certain things that's going on in our country and act like that is not going on. You got to open your mind up. You got to realize what's going on and make a change. We all got to make a change, and it starts with me first, and then it starts within our communities.
Again, very, very passionately speaking about this topic, and it's something that hits a nerve with him. And there are a lot of folks who really don't understand where he's coming from, don't understand where he comes from, doesn't understand his point of view, his background, or the background of the people who were victims of these things that we've been seeing on the news, unfortunately. And a lot of folks are kind of closed-minded because of that. As Colin Kaepernick said early on, this is not a shot at the military. He has a great deal of respect for those who have served, and a lot of people are focusing on that alone, that this is just a blatant disrespect of those who have fallen and those who have fought for this country, but that's not what this is about. If you listen to these players, there are just some things that are going on in this country that is not sitting well with them, and because of that, they're peacefully making a decision to demonstrate that this is something that's not sitting well with them. Right. And their hope is that dialogue comes about. And
well, I think that has been accomplished, has it not?
Well, I think we're even seeing on Facebook too that this is still something that has a lot of people riled up, and they can't even get to the issues that Colin Kaepernick and that Cromartie and others are trying to get to. They can't even get to that because they're so infuriated about disrespect for the flag.
Well, look, I come from a military family, and I get what people are saying. I also get what the other side of the issue is on this. My question is, what's the end game in all this? I mean, Kaepernick, it sounds like, is going to do some stuff in the community, which I think is well intended, and probably at the heart of all this is something that should be done. And even Cromartie, from what I hear, is intending to do some stuff in the community.
Yeah, and Kaepernick's and I think that donated a lot of money, and I
think that sort of thing would have maybe a bigger impact than, maybe that's the wrong term, but it would mean more to a lot more people than the kneel itself.
I think conversation is really important. I think there are a lot of folks in society that, they leave their home, they may go to one side of town, they may communicate and interact with only one kind of people, and then they go back home, and then that's kind of the end of their day. And I think to have conversation with people of different walks of life, different income levels, who may not look like you, and kind of trying to understand each other better, I think that we can find a common ground, and I think that is something that we should be striving for, to have a conversation and not just vitriol and hate and people yelling at each other, whether it's on social media or which we're seeing a lot of, and people aren't really talking and trying to get to know and understand one another, and that's really an unfortunate thing. And a lot of folks was
I'm laughing because
that's the nature of this thing.
You can only say so much at 140 characters,
right?
So you get to the heart of something, and it just.
Right.
pisses people off.
If everybody kind of takes a moment to just put everything down and actually sit and have a conversation, just have an honest conversation with somebody more about the why and the how behind these things, and not just the what on all of it. There is a why to all of these if you just ask them and have a conversation. We all have a stance to take on this, and we now all have an outlet at which to express our opinions. People are doing that with us right here, right now. And part of this function is that you have the right to express that opinion, and I think that's what a lot of these people are taking into account. What I liked about going back to the Fever from Wednesday, agree or disagree with what the ladies did, taking a knee as a team, right afterwards, everybody was very open about the conversation of here's why we did this. Here was what was behind this. And agree or disagree with it, the conversation is ongoing. And I think to Dave's question about the end game, I'm not sure there is. I think this is an ongoing function now that needs to happen. It needs to continue.
Yeah, but it starts with open dialogue and people not being so closed-minded. But I actually wanted to conversate about the issues. And I know some will say, look, there are bigger fish to fry out there. There are bigger crises out there that folks should focus their attention on. But you can still draw attention to a number of different things. Just because something may be a bigger priority in your mind because of statistics doesn't mean that you should turn a blind eye to something else that's going on. And that's what Cromartie and others want to do.
All right. And the comments are coming in. It's on both sides, and this is something that we're not going to settle tonight.
That's a whole other webcast, everybody.
So
what's good, though, I think, and I would say this, looking at the red light on the camera right there, is that this conversation's happening. Everybody's got an opinion, and we're all kind of taking a look at Facebook Live right now, and it's out there.
Terry says, media needs to quit showing these idiots taking a knee. It will go away. They only want 15 seconds of fame. Look, folks had an opinion of Colin Kaepernick before he did what he did. He was kind of a me kind of guy, and now other folks have stepped up and have done the same thing to draw attention to the issue. Tamika Catchings, as a human being, is the antithesis, the complete opposite of what Colin Kaepernick has been about in the early part of his career. And I'm just talking about just the perception of Colin before this year. Never mind what he's started doing, but just Tamika as a person. And the things that she's done in the community for the Indiana Fever franchise, and I've been there firsthand to watch at different community events, and I've worked with her on some things that she's done in the community and working with kids. She genuinely cares about the community, but everybody in the community, and she saw this was important to shed light on. She's as American as anybody, and those who fought for the country fought to give everybody the right to have free speech and articulate their concerns and things that they feel are important. And so that's really what they're doing. And hopefully, I know that again a lot of folks are upset and angry about it, but I just hope that tensions will cool and folks can have meaningful conversations.